This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Happy birthday the other day, Regis. How was it?
Everything was good, bro. Yeah, had had a little party at the house. I thought it was actually gonna be a little party, but it ended up being a big party. But we had a lot of fun, and yeah, just another year.
I'm glad to hear you had a big party. Regis, before we carry on, can you just try and go landscape, please? So we're fine. Perfect. Yeah, all good there. So yeah, Regis, just looking back at your last performance to the back end of last year, how do you assess it and your 2020 in general?
I mean, my last performance was a great performance, man. First off, I just my whole training camp, my whole approach was all different from everything. From the Josh Taylor fight to this training camp, everything was just totally different. I approached everything just totally different, man. If people don't know, I went to after I won my first title. I went to LA. I moved to LA, which was it was a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But I think for my boxing career, it was a mistake, and yeah, basically, I just need to be here, So now I'm back in Texas, back in Houston, the Katy area, and so this last training camp, I just was just focused, because here, I live in training camp, When I'm here in Texas, I live in training camp, Like even right now, like I train like every day, They actually my coaches got to like slow me down and stuff because I want to train every day, But going back, I know I'm kind of getting off the subject or whatever, but yeah, like going back to it, for this last fight, my whole training approach was just was different. I lived like a fighter basically, and when I was living in LA, I lived on vacation. I had a lot of fun every day. I woke up and I lived the dream life basically, and it's kind of how I would want to live once I'm retired. But right now, this is where I need to be. So for my last fight, I was just, going back to your question, for my last fight, I was just super focused. Everything was on point. I just felt so good about myself. I was focused, I was relaxed, I was calm, all those things. And the main thing, I was just focused. I was focused more than anything else. And, I think that, once, I still felt like I won the Josh Taylor fight, but it was a close fight. But I think like once when people like take a official loss on their record, a lot of people will lose confidence. And for me, I gained confidence. I don't know how, but I gained it. And it was just like, I still feel like I'm the best in the world at 140. And I just gained confidence. And I just was, this training camp, for the last fight on Halloween, I was just way, way more focused. That was the thing, just focus in training camp. And for me, I have to get back to the top of the division. And that was my goal.
Well, we'll talk about Josh Taylor later on. But firstly, I want to start with a name that you've been linked heavily with, Adrien Broner. He returns Feb 20th. Your thoughts on AB returning to the ring?
I think it's a good thing for me. I think it's a real good thing for me. I honestly think that's what they're trying to set up. I think they're trying to set up me and Broner. I think that'll be a huge fight at 140. You have a lot of other people out there fighting and stuff, but if me and Broner fight, that'll be the biggest fight you can make at 140. You still got the champions. You got Ramirez. That the people with the official belts is Ramirez and Taylor. But listen, if you put Ramirez and Taylor, I think that people in me and AB, people will pay way more attention to me and him if me and him actually end up through fighting. So I think that's a big potential now, a potential matchup between me and him, and probably it could happen sometimes this year. So him coming back, him being focused is I think it's a real good thing for me because it looks like people are believing in him again. And if he comes, if he has a good performance in his next fight, then hey, I think his name will be right back at the top, and I think it's just all better for me.
What have the people told you from Showtime, the people at Showtime, what have they told you about potential clash with you and AB? When could that happen?
Nobody never told me nothing yet about potential dates, but they saying, it could probably happen maybe this year. So it's not like it's nothing official, but they saying it's a maybe. They always say maybe because like with Broner, you just never know. Sometimes he'll get in trouble, sometimes he do crazy stuff, and you just never know with him. But right now he's looking focused. You looking on his Instagram and stuff. He's skinny. He lost 40, 50 pounds or something like that. He's looking focused. So I think that it's the maybe might, is becoming, closer and closer to a reality that it really can happen.
Is Adrien Broner your number one target, Regis?
I won't say number one, but I think he's a top priority. I won't say he's number one priority. My thing is, I want to get the belts back. Of course, I always say make money, but the money always comes with the prestige, So I mean, I think if I fight Adrien Broner, all those things, I think that it could be. I won't say my number one priority, because for me, I just want to fight whoever and get my belts back and do all that type of stuff. But I think he's definitely a top priority, top three for sure.
Well, he's such a big draw still. If you were to fight him and beat him on a pay-per-view show, you'd put yourself back in the mix of them world titles because you'd have created so much noise of beating Broner, if that makes sense. Is that fair?
Yeah, of course, for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Before we close off from talking about Adrien Broner, have you got a message for him? Anything to say to Adrien?
Nah, man. I always talk shit about Broner. I just, everybody was asking me, what you guys say about Broner? I always say all kinds of shit. It depends how I'm feeling. Right now, I'm just waking up, so I'm not feeling kind of, talk shit. I don't feel like talking too much shit right now. But I mean, I think that hopefully, if I got a message to him, hopefully, he looks spectacular in his next fight. This next month coming up, and me and him can get it on sometime this year.
Moving on from Adrien, though, let's discuss another name you've been linked with, Danny Garcia. Talk to me about wanting that fight with Danny Garcia, Regis.
I just think, he's on the. I mean, he's still a big name, but at 47, he was good at 140. Don't get me wrong, he was real good at 140. He did his thing at 140. All the big fights he came through. At 147, not so much. He's not that good at 147. They call him a cherry picker and all that type of stuff. I still respect Danny, but I went to the fight. I was right there, at the fight with him and Errol, and it just he didn't look that good. And I definitely think that once I go up to 147, that's a fight that I would definitely want for sure. Like maybe my introduction fight into the division or something like that. Maybe my first or second fight into the division. I actually think I beat him easy. I think I beat him way worse than Errol beat him. I just think because of my style, I think I think I could beat him, very, very easy.
Starting off that fight with Errol Spence, how do you see yourself and Danny Garcia?
Sorry, wait, Mark, don't stop.
All right. How do you see yourself and Danny Garcia playing out? How does that fight go, Regis?
I think I whoop him bad. I really think I whoop him bad, bro. Of course, everybody said it about, you only can tell, when you get in the ring with somebody. Of course, I never been in the ring with Danny, so I don't know. And, everybody has different speed and different power and all that type of stuff once you get in the ring with him. But, I mean, he just didn't look that good to me. That's it. And I think I really think I can beat him. I can shut him out. I'm not even gonna say I can knock him out. He's never been knocked out before. He's tough. He definitely has a tough chin. But I definitely think I can pitch a shutout against Danny.
Okay. Well, these are all potential fights. A fight that has been confirmed. Well, it's going to be confirmed. It's Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez for the undisputed title. Mm-hmm. How do you think that goes, firstly?
I got Taylor, man. I got Taylor. The only thing about Ramirez, like I think the only thing about Taylor is like the Spanish people, like the Mexicans, like he has big cojones, and that if he has that, it might work against him. But Taylor, I fought him. He's big, he's strong, he's good on the inside. But if he tries to do that against Ramirez, I don't know how it'll pan out. I've never been in the ring with Ramirez. I don't know how strong he is, but I just think if Josh Taylor tries to outbox him, I think he should be able to do it easy. As a southpaw, he's a tall, he's a long rangy southpaw. I think he should be able to beat Ramirez, kind of with ease, and of course, I don't know. Like I said, I've never been in with Ramirez, and I don't know, his power and what it's like. But from what I saw, I respect Ramirez a lot. He's a champion, but I'm just not a fan of his. I just don't think he's that good. I never did. He ran from me for a long time, so I just don't think he's, that good as, he's definitely elite, but I just don't think I don't think he can beat a Josh Taylor. Of course, it's just my personal opinion, so we'll see. But if Josh Taylor, if he stays on the outside, sticks him with the jab, keeps him on a southpaw angle, I think he can potentially beat him easy. Now, if now say the fight goes, if Ramirez hits Josh with like a hard shot and Josh just wants to go in there and fight him, it might work against him. Or if they talking shit, the weigh-ins and all that type of stuff, and then he wants to he just wants to prove a point. It might work against him, trying to fight with Ramirez, because Ramirez he's tough. He's going to keep going. But one thing we know for sure, he could definitely get outboxed. I personally, I think that, he had two very, very controversial decisions against Zepeda and Postol. Both of them, they just stay on the outside, hit them or 1-2s all day long, and they didn't have Zepeda has the power, but, Postol didn't have the power. Now, Josh Taylor, I think he has the power to, if he's hitting him constantly with jabs and 1-2s all day long, plus he's a good body puncher, I think he can really do some damage to Ramirez. But if he wants to just get on the inside and just fight him all day, that might be detrimental to him. So I got Josh Taylor winning that fight.
Okay. Josh Taylor has made some comments recently saying that he'd be open to 2, 3, or even 4 fights with yourself. What do you think about that?
That's fine, man. I saw it. I saw the little clip he said that, people posted on Twitter and stuff like that. So I saw that, that's fine, man. That'll be good. That'll be good with me. I think as a fighter, he knows. As a fighter, he knows that it was a real close fight. And I think that he knows he didn't really beat me. He got a decision, but he didn't really beat me. As a fighter, those things. It's just deep down in your heart, and that's why for me, I didn't really take it. I didn't take it that bad as a loss, because I still just didn't feel like he beat me. I did what I had to do, and it was in his country and stuff, and I won't say nothing else about that. But I just think that, as a fighter, and if he really, really, if he really truly felt like he really won, it's no point for, rematches and 3 or 4 fights and stuff like that. But, he knows that, I'm a top competitor. He knows I can push him, and he knows that, I was in there with him, and I stuck there. So, but 3, 4 fights, man, that's cool. Just like the old days, I like it. I saw what you said about just like the old days and stuff like that. Hey, if that's the path, then if that's a path for us, then let it be.
Well, it seems like it will be a big year for yourself, whether it's Broner, whether it's Danny Garcia, a rematch with Josh Taylor. Who knows what can happen in this sport? It seems like you will have 1 or 2 big fights this year. So Regis, thanks for IFL TV. Best of luck for this year. I'm sure we'll catch up many times throughout the year. All right, top man. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Have a good one, bro.
You too. Thank you, Regis.
All right, bro.